Welcome back. We are now joined by a very, very special guest. He is taking the Toronto Blue Jays world by storm. Just broke the single game record for most hits by a rookie for the Toronto Blue Jays. It's my pleasure to welcome Will Wagner to the Gate 14 podcast. What's up, Wags? How we doing?
Doing good, man. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. I appreciate you throwing the glasses on. I really do for this. Makes me feel I get called four-eyed freak a lot. So you're an ally to me.
Yeah, I love the glasses.
Are you contacts in during the game? You have to, obviously, then.
I have to, yeah, for sure. I'm not a fan of contacts, though. They just annoy my eyes. So anytime I have a chance to take them out, I'm glasses.
Why you gotta go the David Schneider look?
I know. I can't. I just can't do it though for some reason. I just stick with the contacts during the game.
I think they're gonna fog up in your face. That's the problem.
Yeah, probably. That's what I was thinking. I gotta ask him about those. How he likes them. I mean, he's been rocking them for a while now.
It's his shtick, though. It's his shtick. You can't step on toes. You're new here, but let's go into it. Obviously, you're new here, like I mentioned. How's the couple weeks been as a big leaguer, man?
It's been pretty cool. It's definitely quite a turnaround. I mean, just getting traded from Houston, and then that turnaround, I've been living out of just a suitcase. So it's been really cool, though. The guys have been treating me well, and it's been awesome.
So obviously, your dad. We'll talk about that a bit. My dad sold glue, so it's a little when we ask you these questions, it's like you're different life than we grew up. But like, you've been in the big leagues. Has there been a pinch you moment yet? Because you've been around a lot of it. Has there been a time for you? It's like, oh, I wasn't expecting to feel this way based on some of the stuff.
Not really. I mean, I've been around it for a while. It's still really special. I mean, just being in the big leagues playing there. I mean, I thought it was really cool. My first day in LA, I was really, really nervous for the game. And George came up to me and just gave me some advice to help me calm me down. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay. And I'm infamously known for asking Danny Jansen if his 1-year-old son is aware that he's a big leaguer. When did you figure out, like, my dad is Billy Wagner, like my dad plays in the show?
Crazy. I don't know, because I always just knew him as a baseball player. So I was like, oh, this is just normal, right? And then as I got older, it's like, oh, not everyone can do this. I would say probably when he was with the Phillies. When I get to go in the clubhouse and see the guys and stuff, and I kind of remember baseball a little bit more. Yeah, I would say the Phillies, though.
Okay. What was some of the best stuff he brought home for you? Like some memorabilia, something that you just remember being like, oh, this is awesome.
I remember we were living in Connecticut when he was with the Mets, and me and my brother would always play baseball in the backyard, and he would always hit us ground balls and stuff. And one day he came back with because my favorite player was David Wright and my brother's was Jose Reyes. He brought us back 2 Mets jerseys that said number 5 Wagner and then number 7 Wagner. So it was David Wright and Jose Reyes' number, but with our last name on the back. I thought that was pretty cool.
Dude, David Wright was, I always talk about this on the podcast. David Wright was my favorite player growing up. That dude had so much style. Did you get, like, I'm assuming you got a chance to meet him. Like, what was he like in person?
I don't remember too much. I just remember he was awesome. He was one of my favorite dudes just to watch. He's very professional in his work and what he does for the baseball, and I just love watching him.
Is he someone you've like talked to as of late, or is just someone?
No, he probably doesn't even remember me.
Oh, come on. No. He definitely remembered you after that.
I don't know.
So your dad, your high school baseball coach, right?
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
So Mike Daly, the one who got us in touch, tell me if this story's true, but it was about 2 years after retirement, he said that your dad would throw live BP to you guys. And he said he threw one time for both teams a 7-inning game in the live BP.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And you still had to be bringing it at that point.
He was letting you eat, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was like 86, 88, somewhere around there. And he had all the control. He's bringing out new pitches and everything. And then he'd be yelling at us for not being able to hit him. You're just getting more frustrated as it gets going. But yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
And he also said he would hit you all the time in BP as well.
Oh yeah. He drilled me all the time. Yeah. It's well, I still hit off him in the off season. It's the first 2 rounds are nice and easy. And as he gets going, the ball gets a little on you a little bit more. It cuts, it comes into you, and you just get really mad and just BP ends that way. But Yeah, he it's fun to still get to hit off him a lot.
Does your dad take it personal when people are like, Will, we kind of only kind of platoon him against righties. We don't want to see him go lefty lefty. Is your dad like, yeah, that's because I shoved against them growing up? Like, what does your is that something you take pride in, hitting off of lefties because you grew up hitting off of like one of the best pitchers of all time? Like, is that something that you're like used to, or you take it as a little bit of an insult when people say you can't go off lefties?
No, I think it's still really hard to hit against lefties. So I'm still working on that part. No, but I do think facing my dad and then him just helping me out through my career has kind of helped me prepare a little bit more for the lefties. But it's definitely still pretty hard to face those guys.
Was he hands on with your swing, or was he more a mentality as of what pitchers wanted to do to you?
I would say mentality. There's times where we did work on like mechanics and stuff, but as I got older, I was kind of just more mature about my swing and knew what I had to do. So he stayed away from that, but it's more mentality of just like having confidence in the box, your approach, and just what pitchers like to do to you as hitters and stuff like that.
He had 2 hits, right? In his
He
in his
did,
big
yeah.
league career. Does
Yeah.
he do you remember what they were at all? Or does he like to talk
Uh,
about them?
I don't. I only actually got to see him hit one time in a game that I remember, and he got out. But I don't remember his hits.
We'll have to look that up. That's because
Yeah.
you beat his. I tweeted that before your first game. I said you need 3 hits to beat his. I called it a record. I mean, it's not a record for him, but to beat his career total in hits, and you did
Oh,
that.
I know. I've already been giving him crap about it.
Was your dad like? Was he trying to push you a little bit to become a pitcher, or you were just like, I will not become a pitcher?
No, he never pushed me to be a pitcher. I just never liked it. I pitched in Little League and I was pretty good at it. But as we got older, like I never really grew that much right away. So I was kind of behind and I didn't have the best of arms. So I kind of just stuck with the bat.
Mike Daly also said you had like size 12 feet while you were 5'7".
Oh, yeah.
Was that the issue?
Yeah, that was part of it. Yeah, he has a picture he's posted on his Instagram at me playing second, him at short. And I'm like at his chest and you could see how small I was compared to him. And that
Yeah,
was like my sophomore year, my freshman year, I think. I was really small.
I love that. Let's go into some of the Blue Jay stuff. So obviously, we're close to the pretty decent amount of guys in the team. Who have you gotten close with? Because obviously we're Ernie guys, we're Horwitz guys, we're Davis guys. Who have you kind of gravitated towards in these couple weeks you've been on the team?
Yeah. I've always been close with Joey just from the Astros. But outside that, I mean, I'm pretty close with everyone, I say. I mean, I'm a quiet person, so it's hard for me to get out there and talk. But Spencer's been really cool. I mean, Varsh and Springer, they've been really nice to me. I'm close with everyone. Ernie's really cool too. But I think it's just a good group of guys right now that I can go up to anyone, really have a conversation with.
Your time in Toronto, have you been able to do anything but be at the field or be in your hotel room?
Today was actually the first day I went out and explored a little bit. I went to the well for a little bit and got some food, and then I went to one of the malls that were nearby and just walked around a little bit. But besides that, I haven't really done too much yet.
And speaking about Toronto, man, let's talk about the renovations they've made to like the weight room, like the batting cages, everything like that. Like, what are the facilities like, especially you, a guy that's been grinding in the minors? Like, what's it been like for you to just have access to everything, like the best weight room, everything? Like, you got a barber there at the field. Like, what has that been like for you?
You know, my family was asking the same question. I was like, the best way to explain it to you is like we're living in the future here. It's honestly unreal here. I mean, the weight room has everything you need. I haven't used a barbershop yet, but I actually need a haircut. I think I'm gonna go in tomorrow and get a haircut. So yeah, the place is awesome. It's amazing. It's a big upgrade from the minor leagues for sure.
So I talked to CJ Stubbs yesterday. I said, I need a couple things from Will. Call of Duty, how much COD are you playing right now? You said you love to play video games.
I love video games, but right now I actually am like downloading the Warzone as we talk, and I have such bad Wi-Fi that I can't play right now. I haven't been able to play for about like 4 or 5 weeks now. But Springer and Varsh actually got me to buy. Have you guys heard of the Poga monitor things?
Oh,
So
is that the stuff you can bring on the planes?
yeah, it's like a travel suitcase that has a monitor in it, and you just put your PS5 in it and you travel around and play with it. So yeah, they got me on that. So I just ordered one of those.
Is this your first time in Toronto, like ever?
Yeah, never been to Canada.
Holy shit. So what's like the biggest thing? Because when we ask people here, they always say this city's like so clean. Everyone here is so friendly. Like, what's the first impression you got when you step foot and you're walking towards the hotel you're staying at?
I would say everyone's really friendly. I mean, everywhere I go, people are always just asking to talk to me and like take pictures with me, and they're always just giving me compliments on everything. Even if I went over that game, they were still giving me compliments. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Another thing CJ wanted to talk about was minor league life, how ridiculous Texas League bus rides were. And if you're
Brutal.
happy to be away from that.
Yeah, that was brutal. I just remember the 15-hour rides we had. We had to go to Springfield one time, and that's 14 hours away. And our bus had no AC for half of it. It was terrible. It was so bad. We slept, like, we got there and just slept the whole next day, and then had to wake up and play a game. It was one of the toughest things I've had to do.
The minors is insane. So, like, what would you say is the biggest difference that you notice from the minor leagues to the major leagues in terms of like off the field stuff? Because this other podcast that Tyler Matzik said it's the access to just any piece of equipment you want. You get it at your locker within an hour. Like, what's the biggest difference you've noticed?
I mean, for sure. I mean, so I got here and I like to use the Normatex a lot at the field, and they ended up just giving me a whole pair for myself to take back and have for the rest of the season. So, I mean, that's just one example of like, you can get like, if I try to do that in the minor leagues, they would just be like, oh yeah, just bring it back tomorrow. And these guys are like, oh, just keep it in your hotel room. You can use it every night. So that's one of the biggest differences, I think.
Switching organizations, obviously mid-year is tough. How quickly can you realize a change in hitting philosophy organization-wise when you got to the Blue Jays from the Astros?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Astros hitting philosophies. I just thought, sorry, I'm getting a call. You guys are there still?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sorry, I was getting a call. My dad was actually calling me.
Big league dumb.
Yeah, just hung up right away. No, but yeah, the Astros, I like the hitting philosophy and everything. Sometimes I feel like I read too much into analytical and that data and stuff, and then over here it's more of just like a mentality and stuff. And I like both organizations. I have no I'm kind of on my own with the hitting. I like to do what I like to do and like put it best for what works with me. But honestly, the biggest difference was just I came up straight to the big leagues, and there's like 4 or 5 hitting coaches here. And where I was in the minor leagues, there's only 1 hitting coach. So there's more hands-on, I would say.
Yeah, and we're close. Like, we know like Guillermo, and we've seen Matt Hague. What is it like with Matt Hague? I mean, that guy is just a wizard of a hitting coach. We're horny for Hague. That's the hashtag we've kind of started here for Matt Hague. What's Hague like?
I love Matt. Yeah, we've gotten close. It's funny because the game I went 5 for 6, I was in the cage just grinding with him to figure out my swing because I was not feeling good at all. I was in there like 10 minutes before in a full sweat, just trying to like figure out my swing. And after I had the game I had, he was like, so we're doing this every day, right? And I was like, of course.
He seems awesome. And you were, when we saw you at Wrigley, you were part of the Hague on field with the machine BP. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that's helped you take a step in preparing as well?
Yeah, for sure. I like to hit on the field usually every game. I just think getting out of the locker room and like moving around and then just seeing the ball on the field really helps me be prepared for the game.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had access to that when I was in junior college. Maybe I would have been at a D1 after that. But yeah, just going off the another thing, I'm an off-field stuff. I like talking about the off-field stuff. What has been your favorite like away park you have visited so far? Obviously, Fenway holds a special place in your heart because you hit your first home run there. But which one has it been for you?
Been kind of blessed so far. I mean, I went Wrigley, Fenway, and then LA was really cool, and then Minnesota, where we were just at, was super cool too. But I mean, I'm going to have to go with Fenway. I mean, Fenway is so special. It's like so unique and stuff. And like the crowd was electric the whole time. So I would go Fenway.
I mean, that's the question everyone asks. It's Fenway or Wrigley, right? And we haven't been to Fenway, Johnny and I, and Wrigley was just like, oh,
you guys got to go to Fenway.
Yeah.
It's sick.
It's the next one, I think, for us. Going back into some of the college stuff, you chose Liberty in a state where UVA is like UVA baseball is the big thing. What kind of went into your choice of choosing Liberty over maybe you didn't get an offer from UVA, but going to Liberty?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get looked at by UVA at all.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah, that's probably the main issue. But I was just kind of always undersized. I never really grew until like my junior summer going into my senior year. So it was hard for me to get looks from those big schools. And then Coach Jackson, who just actually left Liberty to go back to UNC, just took a chance on me and offered me a scholarship. And I had a couple other looks, but Liberty was pretty much my main focus.
You were there with Mason Fluharty, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you were reunited with him in Buffalo for a little bit.
Yeah, for like a week and a half.
Yeah, that was good. And then you also would have had a year left of eligibility, and you decided to go in the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
What went into that for you is just right time, agents telling you good things.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a year left, and I felt like because it was just the 20 rounds, it was the first time it's happened, and I got picked inside the 20 rounds, and I thought that'd be the best chance for me. And I mean, it's always been my dream just to play big league baseball, so I thought that'd be the first step.
Can we announce here that you're going to finish your degree for your parents?
I already got it.
Oh,
yeah.
The COVID year though. That's why you got it done.
Okay. Yeah, sports management isn't anything special, but I did graduate.
I love that. And speaking about the minors, I love to hear about this type of stuff. What has been like, what league for you was the best to hit in the minor leagues where the ball was flying off the bat, where you're like, I did not get all of that one and that one left the yard?
I don't know. People say the PCL is a good hitting league, but our field in Sugar Land was terrible to hit at. The ball didn't go anywhere. But Albuquerque, I would say. I mean, you hit the ball at the end of the bat and it's gone. That place, the ball flies. But there's a couple good hitting fields in the PCL, but I think Albuquerque was probably the best hitting field to play at.
Yeah, some good spots there. What you're talking about hitting fields earlier for your 5-hit game. What are your hitting fields right now? Are you up there just obviously when you're trying to hit, you're looking for pitches, that type of thing, but in your hitting fields, where are you at right now?
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is I like to be as relaxed as I can. I think when I'm not hitting well, I'm thinking too much in the box, and then you could tell that my shoulders are a little tensed up and I feel heavy in my legs. I think when I'm at my best, I'm really relaxed and just seeing the ball and reacting to it. I think sometimes I get in the cages and try to do a little too much, and that takes it into the game where I'm just focused on it instead of just being relaxed and just going out there and doing my thing.
When you had that 5-hit game, like this is a true circle, were you a little bit like, all right, I'm kind of a dog? Like, were you a little bit just like, all right, this is kind of sick. I just had a 5-hit game in the show and I've been here for 3 weeks.
Nah, not really. I didn't think it that way. I thought of it. Well, 2 of my hits were off of position player, so I can't really count
But
it.
they'll never remember that.
Yeah, they'll listen when that record, like I talked about at the start of the pod, like that will be there and they won't ask how. They'll just ask how many hits you had. Is it hard to hit off of a position player? Because they have really no idea what they're doing up there.
First 2 hits ever off the position player right there. I am terrible at hitting against position players. I actually was more nervous to face a position player than face an actual pitcher.
It's way more embarrassing if you strike out, right?
It's a lose-lose. You don't get anything good. I got a hit and no one cheered for me. As a position player, I'm supposed to get a hit off that guy. You know what I mean?
Were you guys talking about that in the dugout when the Earn Dog decided to hit switch hit, or was that like just catch everyone off guard?
It was kind of at the last second. I just saw him go up there and change his helmet, go up there and hit lefty, and I thought it was awesome. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope he hits a home run here.
I can't believe he was allowed to do that, to be honest with you, because obviously, like, it's a serious league. It's like,
yeah,
I can't believe they let him go lefty, but I mean, it was a dog walking taking place at Target Field. So, I mean, that will play. But what do you have a favorite home run so far? Because that one at Target Field, that ball was absolutely launched, 419 feet. So, is there one that's kind of your baby so far?
I would say the one at Fenway, just because it's off a lefty. I thought that was pretty cool for my first home run because, I mean, I don't really hit home runs against the lefties as it is. And for it to be my first home run, I thought that was pretty cool. And it was at Fenway.
And you didn't think it was gone either, right?
Nope. Had no clue. I mean, I thought I popped it up and just missed it. And the wind just kept taking it.
Have you figured out like a pimp job? Because our guy Horowitz, that bat drop he does when he launches a baseball is insane. Like, have you started to kind of get in that groove where you're getting into bat drop territory?
No, I don't pimp home runs. I don't have that much power to be pimping home runs like that. I usually kind of just run out of the box, and before I know it's gone, I'm already rounding first base, so I can't really pimp it.
What do you think of the dimensions of the Rogers Center yet, or what do people say about the dimensions at the Rogers Center?
I think it's a fair ballpark. It just depends if the roof's closed or open. Because if it's open, sometimes like the wind will get a hold of it or it'll knock it down. If it's closed, it depends. I mean, if it's closed, I think it plays true. I like it closed. I've only played in it once closed so far, so I can't really tell you too much about it yet.
Does playing on a team with so many rookies kind of make it easier for you? Because I mean, you're looking around the infield, right? And you got, I mean, Ernie Clement, not much service time, but he's played a decent amount of. You got Horwitz, Schneider, you got all these young guys, Leo Jimenez. So does that make it easier for you that you're learning with people, like with teammates that are also learning as well how to be big leaguers?
For sure. I think the biggest thing is when I got called up, I was really nervous to join the team just because I didn't know a lot of guys. And then I figured once I got there, I learned that everyone was super young and super cool, and they were all still learning it too. So yeah, just to go with them through this process is pretty cool.
If you had to play one defensive position for the rest of your career, which one are you choosing?
I think I'm going with second base.
Yeah.
I played 4 years at second in college, and I loved it. I do like third, and first has been okay, but I think second's where I like the best.
That Leo Jimenez catch on Sunday, did that blow you away in the dugout as much as that blew everyone? I mean, I can't believe he caught that ball. That was one of the
Unreal.
most insane catches I've ever seen. Jeter could never, but yeah. Was that crazy?
That was unreal. Well, when he caught it, I was starting to move around because I was off that day. So I was getting ready to go in because I didn't know if he was okay or not because he was down on the ground for a while. So I didn't have much time to process it. But that was an unreal play.
Yeah, really good. You said when you were with the Astros, you thought a lot about the analytics stuff. What's kind of the sweet spot been for you, or what analytics stuff are you looking at for your performance?
I think it's just not diving in too far with like video and stuff. I usually like to see what the pitcher's best two pitches are and what he throws the most, and then I go from there. Like if he has a lot of hop on it, I like to try to just stay above the ball. And then like if his best two pitches are fastball changeup and he throws the changeup mostly to lefties, I'll sit on a changeup sometimes. But usually just looking at the pitcher's best two pitches and going from there.
How much are you looking at your swing like every day?
What's that?
How much are you looking at your swing on video?
Depends. I look at it a little bit during the game just to see if my timing's there, if my hands are staying, like steady or not. But usually I try to stay away from video just because I get like if I look at video once and I don't see something I like, I usually just try to change it right away when it might not be anything wrong with my swing. It could be the pitch location I swung at or the pitcher's just really good that day. So
and that's on the iPad on the bench. You were doing that sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes if I hit a ball really good, I like to look at it just to like see, okay, that's what I did right there. Let's keep repeating that.
Okay. And if we see anything, we'll let you know, obviously, as well.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
Who's like the hardest pitcher you have faced so far in your big league career?
Well, I would say Duran, but I ended up getting a hit off of him, so that was pretty cool. But I forget the guy's name from Boston. He kind of carved all of us. Pavetta, maybe? I think
Bayo. Brian Bayo?
Yeah, Bayo too. Yeah, Bayo and Pavetta were pretty good.
Yeah, Pavetta was game one of that.
Oh,
how stupid was that thing that your first game was played when you were with a different organization?
Oh, I know. They're trying to say that's my debut. I was like, I can't have an 0 for 4 be my debut.
Yeah, that's a tough debut. And we talked about the analytics and all that, and your dad being old school. Is he in the anti-analytic crowd, like majority of the listeners' fathers, or is he like, all right, I'll tap into some of the analytic stuff?
He's definitely starting to tap in with it a little bit more. I mean, he's not all in on it, but I think he's noticed that it is good for the game of baseball and that you have to use a little bit of analytics for sure. Yeah.
He is your dad is I'm not going to say he's very online, but he likes a lot of Gate 14 tweets. So he hasn't thrown us the follow yet, but maybe sooner than later we'll get the follow from Billy
I'll tell him
Wag.
I'm going to call him right after this, so I'll tell him.
Yeah, we're a pro Billy Wagner podcast. I'm a pro Billy Wagner podcast. But another thing about the show that I did want to talk about is just how cool is it to just be able to just fly everywhere? Because obviously we talked about the minor leagues, the long bus rides. You just hop on a jet and you're at your destination in 4 hours. How electric is that?
It's a game changer for sure. You get to actually spend your off days for once, because in the minor leagues, your off day was traveling. So it's nice to actually have an off day where you're not traveling.
Are you a card guy? Or you're not tapping in with the cards? Because I think Bassett told us he's usually in the back row with Gossman and stuff like that, just firing off card games, playing for money. Are you just chilling at the front on the plane?
No, I'm actually in the very back. Like, I'm 2 rows behind the card playing. I don't know how to play poker too much, but I want to learn it. So I've kind of stayed close trying to watch a little bit, but it's just too confusing for me right now.
Yeah, you got the whole off season to learn that. You'll
exactly.
What's the next thing you're looking forward to in the big leagues?
I don't know. I've been pretty spoiled so far with the stadiums I've been to and stuff. I mean, I just want to, I guess, just play a whole year out. I mean, just explore it and learn from it.
Have you been to every big league ballpark?
Not everyone. There's a couple out there that I haven't been to yet. But I've been to mostly all the good ones, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so what has been your experience so far with the Rogers Center crowd? I mean, obviously you guys are out of a playoff spot. I mean, guys are struggling a little bit, but they still pack the barn, man. Almost every single game. What has it been like for you to kind of play in front of just a packed stadium, essentially, no matter what the team's record is?
Yeah, it's a great crowd all the time. I mean, they're always pretty packed in there, and it always gets really loud too. Especially on a couple of those games where we blew the game open, they always get really loud. But the main thing I've noticed is the Blue Jays fans travel so well too. Like, even at Fenway and Minnesota, like, fans were everywhere there. I felt like they were almost louder sometimes.
Wait till you see Seattle, man.
That's all I've heard. I've only heard about how they've packed that stadium before.
I would absolutely hate that if my home stadium was just full of other fans. It's absolutely insane. What's your walk-up song, by the way?
Devil Can't Lie, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Have you guys heard it?
No, to be honest, I don't really pay attention. I have toned out because they play Everybody Clap Your Hands every 5 seconds at the stadium. So I've kind of toned out what's going on there with that. But is that something you've had forever, or is that like a new one?
It's funny because I used to be I'm a big Morgan Wallen fan.
Yeah.
So I did Broadway Girls when I was with Houston. And then once I got traded, I was like, it's time to change something up, I guess. So I went, Devil Can't Lie. And then it's been working, so I'm gonna stick with that for a little bit.
It's definitely been working. Where were you, by the way, when you found out you were dealt? Because obviously in the trade, it was like Jake Bloss was like the name that was the big name that everyone kind of knew about. When did you find out that you were a part of that package?
Yeah, kind of a funny story because when that trade, we were trading for Kikuchi and we didn't know who we were trading yet, and I was just playing video games with Shea Whitcomb, who's in the big leagues now, and we were just playing video games. And Mason Fluharty texts me. He goes, "Hey, are you in this trade?" And I go, "No, I don't think it's me. I haven't heard anything." And then he said, like an hour later, he goes, "Dude, my coaches just woke me up asking about you." I was like, "Dude, I'm still not in the trade. I don't know what you're talking about." And then like 5 minutes later, my phone goes off with a Houston, Texas number. And I picked it up, and they're pretty much telling me I'm traded, and they're happy I was there, and it's going to work out for both of us. And then I had to get on a flight at 12 the next day. So it was pretty crazy.
Dude, the funniest thing about that is, like I told you when we talked on the field, like, I'm pretty good buddies with Forrest Whitley.
Yeah.
He just texted me once that trade dropped. He goes, "Holy shit." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Man, you guys got an absolute haul for Kikuchi." Like, because obviously he knows he's good friends with Loper Fido, and he's played with you, obviously, and he knows Bloss. So
yeah,
he talked about like how good you guys were I asked him first thing I asked him, are they locker room guys? Obviously, I'm an advanced scout for the Jays. Always want best guys in the locker room. So I asked him that, and he said you guys are beauties. What he mentioned about Bloss is, and maybe you can kind of talk about this as well for the fans, is he said that Bloss is the smartest human being he's ever met in his life. Is this true?
Honestly, I wish I could. I don't know him enough. I've roomed with him for 2 days, and he sounds smart, but I don't know him too much to say anything on it.
Okay.
Because he actually started in he started in high A, went to double A, and then double A to the big leagues. So I never even got to see him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's Loperfido like? Loperfido's kind of ducking us a little bit. I've been
Oh,
talking to
really?
his best friend, Mike Adams. Shout out Mike Adams. And he's like, yeah, man, like Lopes is just, I don't know. He's like, he's busy, I guess, doesn't answer text. Then I asked Whitley and I go, like, what's the deal here with Loperfido? Like, is he rocking with us? He's like, yeah. He's like, he doesn't even answer my text. So is it possible? What's Joey Loperfido like?
I love Joey. Joey's the man. I mean, we got drafted the same year, and we actually played in the same regional that year too. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, we've gotten closer over the years. Joey's the man. He's awesome. And I don't think he's ducking you guys for sure. But yeah, I love Joey. He's a good guy.
You were in AAA with him when he hit the most home runs of anyone this year, right?
Yeah, it was like 13 in 2.5 weeks or something
Oh
stupid.
my God.
He was going stupid.
I mean, what do you don't talk to, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you feeling right now? He was just going insane in those
I was like, dude, you're definitely going to the league next week. We're all like, man, you're getting called up soon.
Yeah, it's wild. And speaking of guys on heaters, what's it been like just watching Vladdy go about his business and just seeing the absolute insane run that this guy is on? I think he's on pace to have like a record-breaking second half ever. What's it like watching Vladdy just absolutely launch baseballs into orbit every day?
I mean, he's special. It's fun to play with him. Like his BP, I watched it for the first time the other day, and when he hits the ball, he doesn't hit it straight up and it gets out. He hits it on the line and it keeps rising up and it gets out. It's unreal how he hits a baseball.
How's your Spanish? Are you able to talk to him well?
He speaks good English.
Yeah. Well, Avery, when we met him, he was speaking perfectly fine English to us. I just think he used the translator not to speak to the media. I would do the exact same thing.
No, Vladdy's awesome. I love Vladdy. He was one of the first people to like really welcome me in too. He was really cool. And the first thing he says to me, he goes, you're older than me, right? Yeah, I'm 26. He's 25, and he's got 4 All-Stars already. So
that's a running joke we do on Twitter. We say Vladdy's gonna be so good when he's blank's age. You don't realize like Aaron Judge is like 7 years older than Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Like
I
it
know,
actually,
isn't that
wild.
crazy? It's wild, right?
It's absolutely insane. Has Vladdy had a moment in a game for you, like a hit or something you've seen where you're like, oh my God, I've never seen that in a baseball field before?
We were playing the Reds, and they had a rookie pitcher pitching, and he hit a home run off the guy. He was like, "Welcome to the league." And I thought that was pretty cool.
Was that the second deck one? I think that was in the first inning.
It was the first inning home run. I was like, wow.
He's insane. How does he go about his business? Like, I know we talked about it with Guillermo a little bit. Guillermo said he doesn't really like doing the on-field BP at away games. He just kind of hits in the cage. Mm-hmm. What is his kind of routine?
I don't know. He gets in and does his own stuff. I'm usually in there. I'm not in at the same time as him. I'm usually hitting, and then I get out and he does his stuff. I try to stay out of the cages when all the vets are in there, stay out of their way. Yeah, whatever he's doing is definitely working too. So
how early do you have to get to the field to get out of everyone's way by the time you're done your hitting?
I mean, I like to get to the field early, and that's just me because I got terrible anxiety. I hate being in the hotel room, so I'd like to be where everyone else is at, so I'm not missing out on anything.
I like that. So there's kind of like cardinal rules. You don't want to step on Vladdy's toes, like hitting. So if you're hitting in the cage and Vladdy walks in, are you like, all right, pal, I'll pick the balls up. You can hop in here. I
would offer that, but they're so nice and they're not going to kick you out. It's just something like, hey, if they're about to get hit, like make sure you're done before they are, stuff like that. I just try to stay out of their way. But those guys are so nice that they wouldn't kick me out.
Yeah. So is who's kind of like the alpha, like the alpha hitter guy, where it's like, all right, you don't fuck with this guy. Like who's that guy?
Everyone's so cool though. I mean, I would give it to George. I mean, he's definitely George, and I would say George is our leader. He's the leadoff guy. He does all of our post-game speeches. He's a man.
Holy shit, that's electric. What is his post-game speeches? Just fire you up and want you to get back out there for a doubleheader? Like, what are they
you're
like?
ready to play another 9 innings after it.
Oh God, I need to hear one of those, man. I need to hear one of those. That's absolutely incredible.
No, George is awesome.
Yeah, and playing with George and just seeing like coming up and obviously playing in the show with Joey Loperfido. Was that cool for you to kind of a guy that you kind of came up with and you got traded with together? Like, did you guys text each other right after that trade? Like, I guess we're on to Toronto.
Yeah, I texted him like right after the trade, and he was getting blown up way more than me. But I was like, dude, what just happened? And he goes, I don't even know how to process it all. And we were just kind of speechless for a minute. But we were like, oh, at least we're together in this. That's made me feel a lot better. I mean, he was up in the big leagues a little bit before me, but he was just like always texting me saying like, hey, any second you're about to get the call. And I kind of never really believed him. And then I finally got the call and he saw my jersey being made in the back. So it was pretty cool.
Well, yeah, and speaking about the jersey, what's the deal here with number 7? Because listen, you're taking the reins from some legends here in Toronto. You got obviously my good buddy Jordan Luplow back there. You got IKF, Bradley Zimmer. I believe who else is number 7? It was
Well, I mean, Reyes was 7 when he was here.
Jose Reyes. So did that go into it? You being number 7 because of Jose Reyes?
I didn't even pick it. It was just there for me, I guess. I didn't get to pick it or anything, but I love the number.
It's a great number. It's a
Yes.
ball. It's a baseball number.
Yes, for sure.
Are you all in on the baby blue jerseys or no?
All in.
Yeah.
Those are fire. We wore my first 3 games. Still not sick of them yet.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
So sick. What
Yeah.
what has it been like for you so far? Like, obviously we talked about you've been raking, I believe, a 169 weighted runs created plus so far in your big league career. Are you every day kind of studying, just kind of seeing how pitchers are slowly starting to adjust and pitch to you, or are you just kind of going in with the same mindset?
No, I think pitchers are starting to pitch me a little different lately. I think I'm getting pitched with like fastballs in a little bit more, cutters in, and then like soft away to get me a chase. Because I think the hardest pitch for me to hit right now is the fastball in. It's hard for me to get my barrel to it, and if I do, it's just a rollover. So yeah, just trying to learn from that and just trying to like not chase the fastball in, just wait for them to make a mistake.
Have you thought about going the Rizzo route and just crowding the plate fully?
I do move around in the box a little bit, depending on the pitcher. If the pitcher likes to stay away from me, I kind of get up on the plate a little bit more. But if he's throwing those cutters in, I'm probably getting off and just trying to see the cutter more middle.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So far in your big league career, what has been besides your first home run, what has kind of been your favorite moment so far? Was it the first career hit? Because that first game you had was absolutely bananas. I believe you got 3 hits. Was your first big league game your favorite moment so far?
No, I mean, that was my favorite moment. And then the 5 hit was pretty cool. But I want to say the 3 hits at Fenway were really, really cool for me. I think hitting the double off the monster was like really cool. I've always kind of wanted just to hit a ball off the monster and get a double. And I think it's going to be that game at Fenway, the 3-hit game.
And by the way, we talked about your debut. You kind of body bagged your dad there. I mean, I read and I heard that you just didn't leave tickets for your family outside of Angel Stadium. What happened there with that?
No, that's not how it happened. I had the tickets. I had everyone's emails down, but I was still like getting everyone's email and stuff. And I had to do a bunch of interviews that day. I had to go do BP on the field. I had friends on the field I had to meet. And by the time I came in, I was going to put them in, and I get texts from everyone because they're there an hour early. So they were just there super early, and I get all the heat for it. I'm like, no, I got stuff to do. So I got to do my stuff before you guys can get in.
Wouldn't your dad have that card there? He can just go to any game for free.
I don't even know if that's a thing.
No,
I
it is
didn't
a
know.
thing. It is a thing. It is a thing.
Well, I don't think he knows that.
Yeah, it's Edwin Jackson talked about it on
Maybe 10 years of service time.
It's 10 years of service time.
Okay.
You get a gold-plated MLB card, and you just show it at the box office, and you get 2 free tickets to any game you want.
I'm gonna ask him about that because he could have just used that instead of playing.
Yeah, exactly.
So what has it been like so far? Just like with your dad and your family and all that type of stuff? Are they just kind of savoring the moment? Are they texting you after every single game, or do they kind of just leave you alone?
No, they text me after every game. They've always been that way, but it hasn't been in like a annoying way. They just like to see how I'm doing and just tell me they're proud of me and stuff like that.
I mean, dude, if I had a big league son, I would be the cockiest human being on the face of the earth. So credit to your family for staying humble during this process. But I wanted to go into your kind of routine. Like, are you a superstitious guy? Because I was superstitious, and obviously I hit 186 in junior college, so it didn't work out. But are you a very superstitious guy with your routine and your regimen?
Yeah, I am for sure. It's weird. I got a lot of weird stuff I do. Like if I take a shower and I get a couple knocks that day, I'm going back to that shower. You know, I used to wear arm sleeve and wrist tape, and I went 0 for 2 games in a row. Went double long sleeve, been rocking that for a little bit. But yeah, I like to just change it up every once in a while. So if I'm struggling and then I get a hit with like a certain thing I have on, I'm rocking it for the next couple games.
What about food? Same thing.
I like to have a Red Bull before the game, but that's about all. I'm not too picky on the food.
Okay. Are you like what music are you listening to? Are you bumping Morgan Wallen Dangerous album pregame, or are
I'm
you just
listening
nothing?
to whatever they put on. I don't like to have headphones on in the locker room for some
Yeah,
reason.
it's kind of a dick move. Kind of it's like a slap in the face to the guy that's on the aux. But who's usually on the aux?
Everyone, Vladdy, George, some other guys, but Vladdy and George are always putting up good songs.
Okay, I love that.
A good mix of everything too.
Yeah, I love that. Listen, being the aux guy is a massive responsibility. But what's like George? Is George a house music guy? Like, is he playing like John Summit, Dom Dollar, that type of stuff, or is he just playing like the pop albums?
He's playing everything. I mean, we go from country to rap, to everything, to be honest. Spanish music. It's all a good vibe, though. Everyone loves it. I've never even questioned his music, so it's been a good thing.
Are you a sugar-free Red Bull guy, or are you just firing just the as much sugar as humanly possible in
I'm
your
not
system?
a sugar-free guy. I don't know how people drink those.
Yeah, listen, they're not good for you, but I mean, I pack a lot of Zyn, so I can't be I can't be critical of that. So
Yeah.
that makes sense. But with the last like couple of weeks you have going on here, like what type of goals do you have, or what's your kind of mindset going into just the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season?
Yeah, I think it's best for me just try to be as consistent as I can be and just learn from the ups and downs. I think what I've learned so far is I don't want to get too high and I don't want to get too low. I kind of want to just stay right in the middle. I think I learned that when we had that first home week, I kind of struggled a little bit and I was getting pretty frustrated. I was like, what am I doing wrong? And then I learned it's not what I'm doing wrong. I just need to be here more even and learn from what I'm doing instead of getting so frustrated.
Yeah, and this is the second last thing. So obviously we're a Bowden Francis podcast. We're dropping the Bowden shirts. We just dropped them, collaborated with him. What has it been like watching that dude pitch? I mean, it is absolutely insane. I think he actually broke a record. Avery put it on our Instagram. I think like the lowest whip ever for a pitcher in 4 starts. So what's it been like just playing behind Bowden Francis?
Unreal. I mean, ever since I got called up, I think he's had 4 starts, and I think I've only seen him give up maybe 2 or 3 hits. It's been unreal. I feel like he should be in the Cy Young running right now. That's how good he's doing. He's been fun to play behind and watch.
It's absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd. But anyways, man, like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch you play for our club. And we always talk about this in the podcast. It's been kind of refreshing watching just the young guns kind of prove that they're big leaguers and just add new faces to the team. So we do appreciate you coming on this. And by the way, because you've come on this podcast, every time we ask you to go for dinner, you're kind of obligated to go for dinner with us. So
all right,
that's just kind
I'll
of a
have
thing.
to do it. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
We'll get it going. But anyways, man, keep doing your thing. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch you play, man. And we're looking forward to watching you go toe-to-toe with the Phillies. I mean, you versus Bryson Stott, it's the battle of my friends going toe-to-toe now. So I'm looking forward to it. But best of luck in the future, man. And we'll see you like I said, whenever me and Avery are free for dinner, we'll have to let you know and we'll get that going.
Let me know.
We don't want you alone. We don't want you alone in the hotel.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys.
Thanks, Wags. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, guys.
There it is.